Yes, it's lovely when you're winning, but within minutes the champagne in the Leicester dressing room had gone flat, because from Derby came news that the game there hadn't been properly completed. Fulham were appealing, so maybe Leicester still weren't definitely promoted after all. Well, we saw earlier the quite incredible scenes as the crowd encroached onto the baseball ground pitch. Let's now look again at the end of the match. The Fulham goalkeeper, Jerry Payton, with the ball. And as he kicks it downfield, the referee blows his whistle. Everyone thought it was full time, but apparently it was for offside. There was still 1 minute and 18 seconds on the clock, but clearly the referee had no chance at all of restarting. Fulham, remember, had needed a victory to give them promotion. And what happened to them at Derby had manager Malcolm McDonald fuming. Brian Moore spoke to him.
Malcolm, what is the latest situation? Will there be a replay or won't there be a replay?
Well, Mike Watterson, I understand the Derby chairman has intimated that they will be prepared to have a replay. The game hasn't gone the full 90 minutes, and also there was 7 minutes of intimidation by the crowd were actually on the pitch in a number of areas, and so now really it is a question of what the Football League decide on when they see the referee's report. But the referee has stated that that the 90 minutes wasn't completed, and that also that there were a number of incidents after the game with players they were assaulted by the crowd that ran onto the pitch.
What do you mean by intimidated over those last 6 or 7 minutes?
Well, there was an incident during the last few minutes. I don't quite remember what time it was, Brian, but Robert Wilson was running down the touchline with the ball, and a supporter has run on and blatantly kicked him in the thigh. And you can't play football under those circumstances.
There was a suggestion that the referee might get the players to come back out again and play again, but that didn't appeal to you, obviously.
Well, we couldn't have fielded 11 players because we had a player, Jeff Hopkins, who had been so badly set upon. His shirt had been totally ripped off his back, and he had been punched in the air and in a number of other places. And the lad was in total shock. He had been surrounded by thousands of people and could see no avenue of escape. Finally, he made it to the dressing room and was absolutely frozen stiff in shock.
Really? So, I mean, you don't regard, then, that your promotion dream is shattered yet? I mean, you feel that you should get another chance?
I feel that we should have this game replayed because it hasn't gone the full course of 90 minutes. And plus, before the crowd actually came onto the pitch to cover the pitch entirely, there were a number of intimidatory incidents that happened that doesn't make for a conducive footballing atmosphere.
Malcolm McDonald with some very worrying comments. Fulham will be asking for a replay, and League Secretary Graham Kelly confirmed tonight that the matter will be considered by a special management committee meeting early next week. He could make no further comment until he'd seen reports from everyone involved. Well, Derby presumably will be happy to replay, as they're safe from relegation anyway. And you can see Fulham's argument. But then just imagine Leicester's view. Could Fulham really have scored the 2 goals they needed in that missing 1 minute and 18 seconds? It's a very interesting one to watch that, but it really is a tragedy for football, I think, when a key issue is clouded by crowd trouble. The game itself is always going to be the loser.